Greetings, Shutite traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 26, June 29, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, let's jump into the econ data. What got us set off today was MBA mortgage applications, Red Star event, personal income and outlays. Mortgage applications downside with some of the more recent housing data. EIA Petroleum status report, price action shifting the market today on the crude as prior 0.9, negative 0.9, huge number there, negative 4.1 for the day. So market moved well on the crude. Farm prices out this afternoon. We'll get into what lies ahead for the week. As week 26, we are up 13 setups, only one setup today, 607 ticks net for the week, most of those on the NQ. Let's jump in right to Wednesday. As we saw, there it is, one market, one setup there today for 189 ticks on the NQ. What was going on today to lift that market? Let's jump right into the there it is. Jump right into the price action overnight session. As you can see, yesterday we left off with a nice price action rebounds back upside, closing out some previous session open gaps. As we see price action lifting up here on the overnight session. A little bit choppy on the way up here pre-market, and there it was, right? Market action was to the upside here on trend number 2 or 3 of the session. I believe this was trend number 3, as price action really got a nice lift, breaking above the T350s and holding upside here. Price action again here towards the European close, all in the green, solid Heikin-Ashi bars upside. If you got the early entry, you just held onto it as it moved upwards. And giving you another opportunity is price action on all 3 indices pulled back here at about mid-session and lifts back upside right after the lunchtime. Watching that trend, if you're not watching the higher time frames, at least you might be watching the 50-144 here. We could see the 50 holding above the 144 on all 3 indices, tapping that T3, not T3, actually no T3s on the 50-144. There's a 1-minute chart here. As price action you see here, actually I apologize, this is the 3-minute chart. When you got something strong in trend, you go to the higher time frame, and you can see being able to remain in that looks a lot easier than looking for the lower time frame on all the noise. Any other indices today? Looking at nice trends, we saw the crude and the gold here side by side. Crude getting a nice lift here after post action of the crude release to the upside, buy signal after a little bit of a chop, and to the upside crude also and gold finding some nice trends here. So there it was, one setup on the NQ. Big lesson here today. As we see price action here at the market open, very nice setup. You got 3 charts in the green, lift up. Maybe you took a contract off or not, or stayed on it. Another possible re-entry. Again, if you're looking for re-entries, we'll go over that in the charts. But the whole big picture here is, as soon as price action crossed that T350 downside, one contract off, stop still at break even, and you sit in the rest of the way up till T350 crossed over again. Very rare to find moves like this in a 30-day session. So once you have it and you're able to get far enough away from the entry upside, awesome entry. All right, and there was the picture side by side. As we could see the higher time frames, there it was, long trending session. Look at that from yesterday. US, Asian, and Europe markets holding above. So the big picture was holding to the upside. So here's yesterday's 2 entries, and here's today's first 1 entry, price action to the upside. And so when you got the higher time frames in sync, you look for the entry on the smaller time frame, and you manage. You can manage it on a higher time frame, you manage it on a lower time frame. That's up to you. But price action held upside. Thought we were going to go grab that 144 that we'll look here in a minute, or an open gaps, but wasn't able to grab that on the NQ. All right, let's take a look at the AD line today. Price action on the AD line from the get-go. 1 bar was to the downside. NQ was the one getting the early lift here, but price action eventually lifted, and so we're seeing this afternoon plateau of price action, and pretty much stayed at the highs of the day, not giving much back. Take a look at the 5-minute charts on the crude here. We can see price action again prior to EIA report, pretty much chop session, then finally giving a nice move. So there it is, a little bit of chop within the 25-minute open range. Bang to the upside on the crude. Give it another afternoon lift all the way up to the R3 level, and pretty much sustained itself back up there into the mid 49s. Rest of the 3 indices you can see all the way, never looked back. Price action broke out of the 25-minute open range to the upside, stalled here on the NQ at about R3, and got another lift upside as we actually got a nice little trend back at the in the last 15 minutes of session close. Price action again here on the YM, holding to the range, breakout upside, and just never looked back, and blew past. That's right, blew past our fib length, but hey, we hit them all 3 to the upside, so doing very nicely. As you watch these recaps each day, you'll notice we either hit them or we don't. Came very, very close to hitting that YM yesterday, but not only did we hit the fib levels, but broke upside as well. All right, let's take a look at the daily trend here. Price action on each of the charts. Start with the crude here again. Crude again. Those quick bars on the crude release. Can't really find an entry there, as you can see all that happening at 10:30 there. But price action overnight getting a little bit of a lift, and then price action sideways. Crude release comes out with a number that pushes the market up. There it is. 4 charts in the green eventually. Better entry here in the afternoon towards the session close. Again, you're kind of playing catch up here, but hey, 3 charts in the green, not bad setup. T3 crossover. I can say that I might have waited until at least it broke upside, so that's why I'm calling this the better entry of the session. You're already holding above the T350, and you got 4 charts in the green, so only finding a nice little open pocket to move. All right, YM again, price action we saw in all 3 indices today to the upside. Here it is, pre-market still to the upside from yesterday's close. There's the buy signal again at about 30 minutes before European close. Again, U.S. session open back here. Buy signal again was prior to market, so you might have had to wait a little bit on the YM. That's why I say an NQ out of the gate was much better. But once you got in that trend, it was nice and easy to manage on the way up. But several re-entry points, keeping your stop at the swing size. NQ, there it was out of the gates. Let's pull back a little bit here. NQ out of the gates. There it was, 930. T3 moving averages were above the T350, so there was the entry. Price action pulled back, kept the stop at swing size, and just let it run, and just let it run, and just let it run. Here, at this point, I decided to bail on 1 contract and the remainder of the afternoon. If you were already out, this gave you an opportunity to get back into the trade, and then probably bailing here. But look at that nice price action again. This here is the market closed out for the session. Even went a nice lot higher than I had seen it happening. Here's where I completely exited and finished the trade. Here's your U.S. session open, and right here, market after market price action, even lifting higher. Taking a look at the ES price action here again, same picture as price action out of the gate. Here's your pre-session market action, gets a little bit of lift here. Here was the better entry as price action broke outside about post 30 minutes. So again, ES and YM had a little bit of hard time getting going, but it was the NQ that had the nice move. Again, I would have bailed here probably on the first contract, but again, did not play the ES or the YM to the upside today. That would have been a huge runner. Gold here, not moving too much except price action as the market lifted today. Your better action on the gold was in the afternoon session as you had 3, finally 4 charts in the red. Maybe you went on a pullback, but again, I'm always looking for the best setup with the initial signal. And again, taking a look at the euro, euro was pretty much chopped for the most part of the session, even though 51.44 represented by the horizontal bar at the bottom gave you some small pockets, but not really much here. Maybe in the afternoon session, sell signal on 3, almost 4 charts here. Tough call here on the 6E here in the afternoon session, so I probably would have stayed off of the euro this afternoon. Taking a look at daily gaps, how'd we do? Closed out the crude there on the daily gap. Hey, let me, before I jump in here, let me jump right here. Sometimes I forget this. And here it is. I wanted to show you this side by side. one of the things we've been working on in the trading room. Here's your big trend. As you can see on the chart that I had up here on the, let's go back here. There you go. There's the 48-hour session with multiple opportunities to the upside. But then again, you go ahead and look here, and you got that same chart here to the upside. There's your something we've been looking at in the trading room. Is looking at the London session. Based on a calculation in previous sessions, the number came up at 43.03, and then our market opened today 43.12, and with that number sitting above that 43.03, so let's go ahead and expand that today for you. So 43.03 was the calculation based on the London Open, and then there's your 43.12.25. That was the NQ Open today. Sitting above that 43.03 gives you a signal of a long position. So with that long position in mind, and you got your fib levels up ahead. Fib levels, again, just another level of concern. Gave it the motion to let it go there, and price action again on a 20 tick never looked back. So it gave me that confidence to remain in the trend as long as possible, even though I bailed a little bit early, and it's all about getting a little piece of the pie. So again, we reiterate, higher time frame, whether it's minute charts, whether it's range charts. Those two were in the green, so that gave me the green on the looking for the entry on the smaller time frame, and from there either I decide to manage on the lower time frame or decide to stay on the higher time frame. That's up to you. All right, taking a look at, again, daily gaps. We went ahead and closed out the crude, but we got daily gaps now open from today's session, lifting higher. And take a look at the VPOX. VPOX still remaining the same, closing out former points of control. But we have lifted now as we leave an open gap behind. Price action on the NQ still downside, still remains upside here on the ES and YM approaching it. So again, there it is, daily gaps, open gaps. Eventually it will all eventually be closed. So whether we closed out the one from yesterday's session or whether we'll close out the ones above here as we move forward. All right, taking a look at the daily big pick as we move forward in this market. Price action on the crude, again, still in a downwards trend, 50 below the 144. But we're still held at that 50, except for that one day Brexit vote. Who knows why crude reacted to that, but it did. And probably inverse to the dollar. But here we are, back upside above 51.44. T3 moving averages. Back to the upside, kind of a chop market that we're finding here in this 45 to 50 range. So looking ahead, you'll always want to look intraday for your setups, but pull back. This is the first initial sign here, right here, yesterday, as price action solid body tailed down. But again, I like to see it free and clear. So right now, I would prefer to see crude lift up, pull back, find resistance at the 51.44, and then lift higher and go for the long entry on any ETF or option you might be watching. Again, good sign that 50 and 200 are still holding up. All right, let's wrap it up with the three indices as we do each day. Taking a look at average volume average was just a little bit above, but again decreasing from the beginning of the week. Price action lifts, got that open gap, but we're back up above the 200 and in between the gap here and the 50, the 200 on the ES and the YM. Taking a look at the NQ, watch for the resistance. Upside was really looking for that 144 EMA intraday, but obviously market action after closing hours came right to that 144, so nice to see that. Again, here we see on the ES, T3 moving averages back upside, breaking upside, hitting that 144 and even breaking above that. Hesitated right there at the 4-hour bar right before the close there. So nice price action, back upside, relentless in the green today. All right, taking a look ahead, guys, what's really up? We know that the Brexit vote's out. There's going to be a lot of volatility with that. But truth is, as we roll out, we got pre-holiday session coming up. We have some Red Star events coming out, jobless claims. Really what we're at is end of the month, as we see Thursday, June 30th coming up. End of the month rebalancing a portfolio. So you've seen a lot of this green action. And who knows, it might sell off tomorrow, you never know. But as long as the trend is in play and you can manage it on the upside, hang in there. Otherwise, I can't tell you which way we're going. I can tell you only where the current momentum is. And obviously, based on the charts we just looked at, the trend is still down. The trend is still down. 50 is below the 144. So I'm going to look at the resistance on the 50 here tomorrow. I'm going to keep those lines on my chart. I'm going to look for the turnaround. If the overnight session doesn't and just continues to ramp itself upwards, then you go with the intraday trend and you wait for the turnaround, or you wait for the pullback. But intraday, a whole nother picture. All right. That concludes my insight into the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. As always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me on my charts, and as always, I leave my bias at the door when trading. Make sure you check out those futures, ETF, and market cap leaders that once a week. That's right, that once a week newsletter that I put out, including covering these markets and my 2 cents on the market, current market trend, weekly supplemental. Again, 99-page newsletter that includes most of those charts and where current trend is. All right, guys, 2 more days to the week, pre-holiday. You never know what's going to happen. That's what makes this market so exciting. Have yourselves a Blue Zone day, good night, and good trading.